What's up, guys? Tommy at Monts Family Homestead. Hey, hope you're having a wonderful week. Weekend's coming up. Thought we would just come along this morning. I've got a friend of mine that's got a John Deere 3038E. Had some problems with fuel and this and that and the other, and just wasn't running right. So he brought it to the house, and I said, look, let me just go through it, go around it, see what's going on with it, and try to save you some money. He said, man, I'm all about saving money. So stay tuned. All right, guys, got the mower away from it. He was having some problems with the slip shaft. Of course, this goes in and out this way when you either go over terrain, things like that. But there's a grease fitting broke off here. Just a couple other things. One of the wheels, I'll show you in a little bit. One of the wheels lost the bolt and springs and spacers for it. And up on the tractor, I've already drained just a little bit of the fuel out of it, and it's got a lot of water in it. So that fuel separator there, it's got a lot of water. Then we've got another fuel filter here, oil filter here. Then inside we've got two air filters that are right there. I popped the cover on them, and this kind of rough. But it's just all a part about servicing. Now, in front of the radiator, there's also a screen here. But anyway, this is in the front of there to protect, to keep from things getting into the radiator core itself. Tractor's about, I don't know, 8 or 9, 10 years old, something like that. Still a good looking tractor. Got a slow leak there. So let's dive in. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna crank it up, let it run for a few minutes, heat the oil up, and then we'll get to changing the oil, fuel filters, just a all around good service. Now, I will tell you, Daniel is one to use name brand filters, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. I do the same thing on my wife's vehicle, my vehicle, and my daughter's vehicle. But of course, you're gonna hear chickens this morning. Seems like every morning I come out here to do something. See, told you. So I tried to get away from down there as far as I could. But anyway, let's get to servicing this thing. All right, guys, different day. Had a little something come up that we had to do, but that's okay. Grandson's baseball games are very important. Season is over now. So anyway, back to the John Deere, and I'm gonna show you just a couple of things. And like I said, most of y'all know this. If there's some of you out here that don't know it, hey, just some information for you. All right, I took this skirt off on the side, both of them. Let's start that again. I took the skirt off the side. There's one on the right and one on the left. They just got two little latches right there. You just take and pull out and twist with those. But I went ahead and pulled this line loose, this being the fuel pump. I'm gonna take both lines off of there to make sure there's no rust in there. This being the fuel water separator, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off, drain it, take this line off, which comes from the tank, and then I can't get you back up in there too far. That being the primary fuel filter there. So we'll get those, and like I said, I'll show you how to take this off. It's not, well, let's see, let's just shut the fuel off. This has got a fuel on off there, and you can take that off. We'll scoot our bucket over. Yeah, still got water in it. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's still got full of water. So we'll just lay that aside for right quick, and you kind of see how nasty that is. That's the reason the tractor wouldn't run. All right, so we're going to take this off, and we'll take that from the tank, which, like I said, that comes from the tank up there, and we'll drain everything that's still in. This is a 5-gallon tank. We'll go ahead and drain everything that's in here out, and then I'm going to flush it with some new fuel, which I've got on the other side over there. All right, so while we're letting that drain, just take it to the other side and give you just like I said, on the skirts, or whatever you want to call them, fenders. Just take and undo those, twist like that. And they've got two slots, or two pins on each side. One there's a hole, and there's a hole. And there's two pins that actually hold those up. Put those in, slots in. Always make sure when you're checking these, check your belts, check the tension of it, check your turbo if you have a turbo. Make sure this clamp, the intake side, is good and tight. That comes from the air filter. Now, when I was down at his house, we did have to, I did take and pull that air filter off, and there was a lot of cattails that had got sucked up in there over the year, couple of years, maybe something like that. And that was restricting the airflow, which any engine has got to have air to run. So make sure and check that every 50 hours or so, especially if it's really dusty and things like that, because you can ruin an engine really quick, really quick. But make sure all your connectors, let's go to the side, I'll be a little easier over there. Make sure that all your clamps are tight. There, and down there. This usually, I say usually, some models has what they call a filter minder. Some of them are screwed in, some of them have a gauge on the dash that shows you when the air filter stopped up. I don't rely on those fully, so keep a watch on your air filter. Now, I think we've just about got all the fuel out, so let me check and we'll get right back. Just to give you a little shot of what is in there. It is water everywhere. See that? That's pretty bad. That's nothing but water. I don't know how the leaf got in there. Dirt and whatever else. So when you're putting fuel in your tractors, lawnmowers, whatever else, make sure clean your spouts first. All right, guys, our line was stopped up completely with trash. You saw what was in the bottom of the fuel water separator. So I actually blew up in there, and now I've got full flow of fuel. How about that? But we're going to let everything drain out, and then we'll come back. Who's coming in the driveway there?
My dad.
Well, show the camera up there so they can see. There he is. Yep, with the blue doodle bug. By the way, that's the blue doodle bug that we had the deer hit last, I don't know, November, October, something like that. So we've got it all put back together. So anyway, there's somebody else that's filming. So Electra wanted to film a little bit today, Daddy. So I told everybody that she's gonna film for a little bit. You're gonna get it too close. There you go, right there. Hang on. That is the cover to the dipstick tube for the four-wheel drive. I don't know how it got broke, but I told Daniel we needed one. So if you can see that close enough, maybe you can. That is not good, especially when it rains. You're gonna get water in your front differential. So we got one to fix that with too. How are you today?
Good.
Electra just turned 6 not long ago, so she is out for the summer for school and enjoying it, right?
Yes.
Having fun?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna put the hose back on. We got 95% of the fuel out. It's good and clear. So we're gonna take those little squeezy clamps, which you better be careful with them because they'll turn around and fall off, whatever else. And like I said, this is the fuel on, so yeah, we got good flow now. All right, so let me get a fuel water separator filter. You don't really have to replace those, but it's good to every now and then because I mean it's got I think it's a 10 micron screen, and it's good to get all of that. I mean you can wash them out, but tractor's 8 years old, 9 years old, never been replaced because I've done most of the maintenance on it. So we're gonna get that and put that in there. All right, so we did not have the screen for the fuel water separator, but like I said, you can take these, just take them apart and just pop together. You can see the trash that's in there. So what I'm gonna do is kind of wash that out just a little bit with fresh diesel fuel, stick that back together, and we'll put that back in and put it back on. So it's really not hurt, but you know, if it's, you have to be careful with it, not to tear your screen right there too, because you don't want, that's to keep the trash out from in there. Give you a little better view right there. All right, we got everything put back together. Nut goes across there. Make sure
that rubber O-ring is there, because if it's not, it is not going to seal off and it will suck air and the tractor will not run. So we'll slide that back up in there like that. It's kind of easy like. Don't force it. That nut, you have to be careful with it because it'll kind of hang on the side of the engine over there a little bit. I know I probably got you blocked, but only get one hand back around there like I need to. And only hand tighten those, don't put a wrench on them, whatever you do. And what we'll do, we can go ahead and turn this on because there's nothing there. Fuel's gonna come out of there, but like I said, the tank's almost empty, but we're gonna go ahead and put 5 gallons of fresh fuel in there. Next thing we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna go ahead and change the oil while we're here, that being the oil filter, and there's a plug underneath. So we'll go ahead and, I've got plenty of room in the bucket, and then I've got a recycle bucket that I take this to where I used to work and dump it in a recycle bin, or recycle oil bin. So anyway, now I don't know if I can get this off with my hand. Probably not, since my hand's got diesel fuel all over it. No, that's not gonna work. So let me go get a wrench.
That's the oil.
That's the oil. Now I do usually crank these up and let them warm up just to kind of heat the oil up to get all the bad junk out, if you will. But since I'm working on the fuel system too, I'm not going to do that. It's been sitting here for 3 days, so we're not going to worry about that. But I will take and I will clean all this off with a rag, let all that drain out, and then we'll go back with the new filter. All right guys, again, we're going to take all the oil drained out. Try to wipe from the top to the side like that. That'll keep any residue from getting inside these grooves, or the oil return, if I should say. Try to keep as much out of there as you can. There we go. And then we'll take just a little bit of oil and put around. I think everybody kind of knows to do that. Take just a little bit of oil, put around the oil filter ring, or O-ring I should say. We'll put that on there, and guys, hand tighten this. That's it, hand tighten, that's it. All right guys, I think before I go any further, sorry about that. Before I go any further, we got company, and of course our dogs go haywire. I'm going to take the water hose and just knock this off. Now you can see I've got the fuel cap off. I'm going to put that back on, but I'm going to go ahead and knock all of this debris off of here, dirt and junk. Then we're going to do the main fuel filter here. So let me go ahead and wash this off, and I'll be right back. I should have done this before I started working on it, but that's all right. I can just about tell, see the fuel cap there, all the stuff that's in there, probably got leaves and dirt and stuff from that. Got a lot of cleaning to do right there, as y'all can see. And again, when I get through this, I will pressure wash this tractor, soap and water, and have it clean when I deliver it back. And I got to share something with you guys, gals. In 1985, no, that was not when Noah's flood happened, no. It was 84 when that happened. But seriously, 1985, I had my first mechanic's job, and my mom and dad for my birthday bought me a set of Craftsman tools. And
I have still got all of my screwdrivers that I had. They're right there. And they still have the point to them. You can look at that one. It's got a little bow to it, so I've done some prying with it. What I'm hoping to do is put that screwdriver in there like that, and we should be able to just, look at there, just twist that right out. Uh-oh. I think it's coming out crooked because he must have hit something with it. Yeah. Maybe it's not. Maybe just the angle that I've got it. And there, oh, sorry about the camera. And there we go. And you can see that's when I pulled it out, there is no oil in there, so that's not a good thing. They're bad to blow the seals behind the wheels. And when you do that, I need to get y'all a better shot, but I'll show you. Back behind on both of those, they will lose the seal on it. Also on the top caps can come off and leak there. You can see a new one over there. I put that on there, I don't know, 3 years ago now, I guess. Anyway, Craftsman Tools. And Craftsman Tools is not a sponsor of mine, but I still use them. I've got a toolbox full of them. So anyway, if you've got a 3038E John Deere, that is the number of the dipstick that goes in the front differential, 4-wheel drive. So we're going to take that out of the paper and stick that in there. We're going to make sure that it was screwed down in far enough. And by the way, these do have O-rings on top of those to keep water from getting into the differential itself. Hopefully that's going to go in. Yeah. Just hand tight. Seat the O-ring. And let's back it off and let's check. Oh man. No differential fluid. Okay, let me call the owner. All right, guys, got the oil draining. And as soon as it's done, we will fill it back up, check it, and start it up. All right, guys, since this one's got a bucket on it, it's not that hard to get to, but this is where you add the engine oil. And it takes, if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to go back and look, but I believe it takes 8 quarts. So I'm gonna, again, like I said, we're gonna fill this up. We'll put 7 in it, check it, crank it. All right, guys, remember I said, I told you wrong, and I should have corrected that when I realized it, but I just didn't. That right there is the fuel pump itself. This is the primary fuel filter. So it's actually behind this skirt that we took off, and I apologize. Anyway, we've got all the oil in it. It does take 7 quarts. So the 3038E does take 7 quarts. That's with a 3-cylinder engine. So I've got some fresh fuel right back there. Let me grab it, put it in here, and I'll show you how we're going to prime the system. All right, let's see. I do not want to be too loud because there's the mama. That's Flower. And yeah, she's still got stuff on her, but she's cleaning the babies up. Let me see if I can get over here. There's one. And both of them are healthy. Like I said, this is just natural birth. Y'all know that. Got one that's kind of a grayish color. And then one, if you can see, let me see if I can zoom right there. See the white? Oh, sorry, y'all. See the white right there? Now, let me run here and show you the dad. Let me show you this. This is so cool. He knows how to mark his. Right down there is the dad. Let's see. See the spot? See the ring around him? That's Oreo. That's the dad. All right, guys, back on the tractor. We did everything's going good with the babies. Just got put. You ever have one of those days you couldn't talk? One of those days. So anyway, we just put 5 gallons of fuel in there. And the reason, again, that being the fuel pump, when you turn that key on,
it automatically turns that on and it primes the system all the way through. So you don't have to worry about it. For about 15 seconds you can do that. And like I said, I didn't video changing the other fuel filter, but that's okay. So when it quits kind of rattling, you can do this. Now we'll check for leaks. No oil leaks anywhere, nothing on the oil filter, no fuel leaks. I'll let you see. There's the oil that came out of the pan. Oil filter's fine, fuel filter's fine. Other fuel filter's fine. Now we have not changed the hydraulic filter or the transmission filter yet, or the 2 air filters. So we'll do that in just a moment. All right, guys. Ton of water. I forgot and left the bucket down, and it came in monsoon yesterday. But anyway, Alicia just said supper is ready, and we're having meatball subs. If you've never had those, get the sandwich sub sandwich bread. And get you some meatballs, put them in marinara sauce, put them in the crock pot, and tell you what, hang on a minute. And Lindy is putting them in the oven. You take those and you put mozzarella cheese on there.
Well, you gotta toast them before you...
Oh, you toast them first, my bad, see? And instead of putting them in the crock pot, she actually put them in just on the pot this time. French fries, our supper tonight. Yeah. So anyway, we shall catch back up with you guys later. Maybe tomorrow, because it's already 7 o'clock. Hey. All right, Lindy, turn her around, let everybody see. This is one of our babies. And she is the color you see, gray. So, I don't know how this one's gonna turn out. So Alicia's got the other one. And of course you can see they're bonding tremendously. She said she had to run around the stall to catch this one. Lindy said she would have gave good money to see that.
This is stupid. I want to hold the goat. No, let me hold the goat. Let me hold the
You
goat.
wouldn't let me hold the other one. It didn't like you. It screamed every time you touched it or looked at it.
Oh, y'all, this is what I have to deal with.
I know that's right.